All right. Good day, everybody. It is Monday, top of the week, June 13th, 2022. Today's headline hits with LW is brought to you by Mike Lindell, My Pillow, mypillow.com. Use promo code LWN and you could save up to 66%. You know what? Father's Day is next Sunday. If you guys haven't thought about getting dad a gift, the slippers are truly amazing gifts. You guys can get that at mypillow.com and the bed sheets. I just washed mine last night and put them back on my bed. The My Pillow sheets, and I'm telling you, man, when I crawled into bed last night after they're nice and clean, it just really relaxed me and put me right to sleep. So, you guys, if you haven't tried their sheets, I think they're right around ballpark figure. I think they're close to $200 for a set of sheets. But if you use promo code LWN, I think it drops them down to like $60, 60 $70 with that promo code. So 60 $70 for a full set of sheets, the Giza sheets. I'm telling you, man, it's a great deal. All right, let's hit the news because there's a lot to talk about today. Let's talk about New York. Tracy Q in chat. Here you go. New York schools, Tracy. I know that you have your kids are probably all out of school, but you got family, you got friends probably there in the state of New York. And for those of you who are listening to us from the state of New York, I want you to be aware of this. New York schools spent over 200,000, 200K on drag queen shows. Yep, you heard it right. New York City's public schools are using taxpayer money to pay drag queens to perform for children, often without parental knowledge or consent, according to the city records. How does that sound to you guys? As parents out there, I have kids still left in school. I have two of them. Noah is 10 years old. And these schools in the city of New York are going out there using my money that I pay in taxes each and every day. And they're spending this money to have drag queens come to the schools, the public schools of New York, for Drag Queen Day. Now, listen, it's probably not just the state of New York. If I had to assume, I would say that another state like California would probably do something similar. So, just something that I think you parents should pay attention to. Since its creation in 2018, Drag Queen Story Hour in New York City, which recently changed its name to Drag Story Hour in New York City, has received $207,000 in taxpayer funds. So I just want to let you guys know that your cities, your counties, they use your taxpayer dollars and they do things like this. They fund certain things that they don't even tell you about. They slide this in, they sneak this in under your noses. Pay attention, folks. Here's something else that I found very disturbing today for the UK. English school bans skirts to be more gender neutral. Again, attack on our children, folks. Uh, Turvington High School in Devon, England, is banning skirts and moving its uh, Tories only uniform policy to be more gender neutral. Now, this is something that the school board there in this town did without discussing it with their parents. They didn't discuss it with their students. This is something that they are just pushing on the parents, pushing on the students right now. I read down through this article. If you want to read about it, it's in Breitbart. Um, they just made an announcement. They sent emails out and letters out to all the parents, all the caretakers, because they don't want to call them mom and dads now. They like to call them parents or caretakers or carers. They just sent this letter out and said, hey, we're going to wear trousers only. That's their policy. Trousers only policy. They want to get away from girls wearing dresses and skirts because they want one gender, folks. They want one gender. Sickening. All right, rolling on here. Here's something that sounds like a win for us, for conservatives, for Second Amendment holders, for patriots, Americans. But I want to let you know sheeps and wolves clothing. Pay attention, be aware. Um, Talk to your state representatives. Bipartisan gun deal announced. No assault weapons ban, no raised minimum rifle age. Now, remember, Biden went out. Biden and many people, including Hollywood celebrities, you name it. A lot of people wanted bans on assault weapons. They can't even define the definition of assault weapon. They want all weapons taken away from Americans. So, in this article, a bipartisan group of senators announced a deal on gun control legislation Sunday in the wake of recent mass shootings, though the compromise excludes. What does that mean? It does not include that President Joe Biden's assault on weapons ban and raise the minimum age for rifle purchases. Remember, they wanted rifle purchases to be raised to 21 instead of the age of 18. They wanted an assault ban. They wanted high capacity magazines banned as well. The deal includes Republican priorities such as expanding mental health services and school safety. Now, does that sound like a good deal? Does that sound like a good deal to you in chat? I think we should take a look at mental health services. And I think we should take a look into school safety. But again, I don't want my child going to a maximum security prison to go to school. If that's going to be the case, then I'm going to homeschool them. It nods to the Democrat priorities by adding expanded background checks for those under the age of 21 who will have their juvenile records screened before gun purchases. Do you guys think that that's a good deal? Do you guys think that that is something that should be required? That anybody under the age of 21 that is purchasing any type of weapon should have their juvenile record looked at and their mental status, their any health issues. Just the question I'm throwing out there. Here's some of the highlights that are in this bill. Intervention orders, investigation in children and family mental health services, protection of victims of domestic violence, funding for school-based mental health and supportive services, clarification of definition of federal licensing firearms dealers, telehealth investigations, or investments, under 21 enhanced review processes, penalties for straw purchasing. What is straw purchasing? Straw purchasing is a crackdown on criminals who illegally straw purchase and traffic guns. So those are some of the highlights in this bill. What did Joe Biden have to say about this? Well, Joe Biden, Senate bipartisan gun control agreement, not enough. But hey, let's get her done. Let's get her done. President Joe Biden announced Sunday his support of the Senate bipartisan gun control agreement, despite his misgivings that it was not enough. Obviously, it does not do anything that I think it needed, but it reflects important steps in the right direction. And would it be the most significant gun safety legislation to pass Congress in decades? Yes, Biden said it was. Of course, he's trying to take credit for already strict enough gun laws, but hey, let's put some more red tape around it, right? The agreement does not include Biden's demands for the ban on so-called assault rifles, raising the minimum purchase age to 21, and some semi-automatic rifles, and banning of high-capacity magazines. So Biden got nothing in this deal. Everything that Biden promised America and the parents, he got nothing. But Biden urged Congress to pass the legislation, thanking Republicans for working with the Democrats and getting something done. With a bipartisan support, there are no excuses for delay and no reason why it should not quickly move through the Senate and the House. The agreement offers support for states to enact red flag laws, which, again, folks, is this a good deal or not a good deal? I want you guys to look up red flag laws, because those are loopholes that the Democrats use to suppress us in our Second Amendment rights. also requires enhanced background check for gun buyers under the age of 21, including juvenile and mental health records. Okay, so that's out in the news. What else is going on with this bill? Senate gun control agreement adds investigation period to some firearm background checks. Pay attention. Remember, wolf in sheep's clothing. They sneak things under our noses. So listen to this. The Senate gun control agreement that emerged Sunday adds an investigation period to some firearm background checks. Breitbart News reported that the Senate agreement includes proposals such as a crackdown on straw purchases, funding to incentivize states to adopt red flag laws. Let me reread that. Funding to incentivize. What does that mean? It means the government is wanting states to suck on that titty again of the government. Hey, we'll send you free money. We'll send you more federal funding if you would just adopt these red flag laws, and deeper record searches for gun buyers under the age of 21, among some things and other things. Again, I just really think that we need to pay attention to this. So the broadening record searchers for gun buyers younger than 21 requires an investigation period to review juvenile and mental health records. So what is the period for buying a gun? Now, I know some people can go in, they could fill out the FBI background check. It goes through and immediately they walk out with a purchase. I've seen lots of people doing it. Other people, it can take up to 3 business days, right? The FBI conducts an NICS checks on retail gun purchases. The checks are designed to be completed quickly, but the FBI can take up to 3 business days to conduct this check. They believe they need to see more records. So now they're wanting to expand that to 10 days. Do you guys agree with this? Do you agree that if they're going to have a little deeper background check for maybe some people, that it should be 10 days? What's your thoughts on that? Okay, with all of this gun control, with all this stuff that Biden wanted to happen, and don't forget Nancy Pelosi and everyone else, all the celebrities, Matthew McConaughey, you name it, they're all out there spewing out their propaganda. Listen to this. 27 shot over the weekend in Mayor Lori Lightfoot's Chicago. 27 people were shot, 5 of them fatally, over the weekend in Mayor Lori Lightfoot's Democrat-ran blue state, blue city, Chicago. Breitbart News reported that 16 people were shot in Chicago Friday and to Saturday night alone. 3 of the victims succumbed to their wounds. So as they're wanting to suppress more law-abiding American citizens on gun purchases and their Second Amendment rights, the city of Chicago is chaotic. It's hell on earth. People are being shot by the hundreds. Is Lori Lightfoot doing anything about that? Is the governor of Illinois doing anything about that? Is the president of the United States saying anything about what's going on in the city of Chicago? Is Dr. Jill and Joe Biden flying out to Chicago and putting flowers on the graves of these children that have succumbed to fatality shootings from drive-bys? The answer is no. They are not. They're not doing a damn thing about it. All right, here we go. Buckle up. Watch live. Shut down DC. An attempt planned to blockade of the SCOTUS ahead of the possible abortion ruling. Shut down DC. A leftist activist group plans to blockade the U.S. Supreme Court ahead of its potential decision to overturn Roe v. Wade on Monday. These unelected extremist. This is quote from this group. They're calling our Supreme Court justices unelected extremists. They are trying to steal our rights and roll us backwards on issues after issues. Abortion, guns, environment, due process. Oh, the list goes on. They are illegitimate and they say no, said the group on a tweet on Sunday. Now, buckle up because you know what happens in these situations. If this decision comes down that they have reversed Roe v. Wade, which a lot of these people don't pay attention to the rights, they don't pay attention to the Constitution. They have no idea what they're even talking about 99% of the time. They're just activists. They're paid activists. They're planned. They're put out there for destruction. All this decision does is it puts it back on the states. Now, I don't agree with abortion, but I do think the states have the rights to their own decisions and not the federal government. And that's all that Roe v. Wade does, puts it back to the states. States like California are still going to do abortions, period. States like New York. But there are other constitutional states, there's other conservative states that don't want this. They won't have abortions in their states. These people, there's a photo of these people and they're wearing a shirt that says, I will abed, I will, I can't hardly read it. I will aid and abet abortion. They are fully masked. I'm sure they've probably been fully vacationed. They're sitting there holding the signs and pictures of the justices, calling them liars. What I'm about to tell you is this is a warning. This is a shot over the bow. They are going to have peaceful protest after Roe v. Wade is overturned. Think about that. What is a peaceful protest? Well, think about back to the summer of 2020, how peaceful that was. As CNN reporters were sitting there reporting how the majority of the protesters were peaceful, the building behind them was engulfed in flames. All right, Supreme Court to decide historical cases on abortion, guns, religious liberty by July. Now listen to this. Washington, D.C. Time is ticking as Supreme Court has 3 weeks left in its official calendar to decide 29 cases, including 6 major cases, half of which are likely historic, or extending their session into July with profound decisions to make on abortion and the Second Amendment and religious liberty. That's what caught my attention when I saw this article in Breitbart. I wanted to know, what are they talking about when it comes to the Second Amendment and our religious liberty? So as you drop down in this article found in Breitbart, I go down to the very bottom and it talks about what those cases are. So let's talk about them real quick. Let me find it. There it is. Okay. Here's the 6 cases that they're talking about. More than that, 6 of these cases are major cases. One is Biden versus Texas. What is that case about? This is what I'm talking about, guys. I'm trying to inform you guys about what's going on when you're not paying attention. So Biden versus Texas is about President Joe Biden's attempt to shut down one of former President Donald Trump's signature policies, the Migrant Protection Protocols, the MPP, better known as Remain in Mexico, without which the number of illegal aliens making it into this country would be far higher. Did you hear what I just said? Without this policy, the already 5 to 30,000 illegals daily crossing our border would be much higher if this is allowed to be overturned in the Supreme Court. Another is Carson versus Macken, a case brought by the First Liberty Institute and the Institute for Justice about school choice, where the state of the Maine is discriminating against families who want to send their children to Christian schools. Did you know about that case? Did you know that was in the Supreme Court? No, I did not either. So they're discriminating against families who want to send their children to Christian schools. What is the third major case? The third major case is West Virginia versus the EPA. What is that case about? I haven't heard about this one. It's about whether Biden's EPA has almost unlimited authority to issue sweeping environmental regulations that could, listen to this word, transform the American economy. Did you guys know that that was going on in the Supreme Court? No, you did not. Why is that? It's because of all the distractions going on around us. Think about that for a minute. What are the distractions? They're keeping us from realizing what is going on. The remaining major cases are so big that at least one and potentially all are nothing short of historic, sure to have a profound impact on the direction of the country. What is number 4 and number 5? Well, number 4 is New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Buren about whether the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms extends outside of the home. The only two major gun right cases decided by the Supreme Court involved citizens who wanted handguns at the home for self protection, and now the court will consider how that right applies as citizens go about their daily lives. Think about that for a minute. They're going to confine us to our homes only to carry our Second Amendment. I believe in the Constitution, in that Second Amendment. It doesn't say that we only have the right to bear arms at home. It does not say that. You are only allowed to bear arms in your homes. It says that right shall not be infringed. Whether that means you're packing when you go to the grocery store, you're packing when you go down to the football game, I don't know. It doesn't say whether you have to be restrained to your home for your Second Amendment. What is the fifth? The fifth is this. It's about religious rights. Another is Kennedy versus Bremerton School District about a former U.S. Marine high school football coach who was fired by public school for his custom of offering a short silent prayer on his team's football field after each Friday night football game. This case could be a major ruling on 3 separate First Amendment issues. First would be your free speech rights in schools and or government employees, the right to freely exercise religion from government workers, and the proper meaning of constitutional establishment clause, which forbids the government from adopting an official religion. Did you guys know that that was going on? No, you did not. All right, here is the last headline. I'm going to follow it up with some facts. Joe Biden frustrated by inability to lower gas prices. As gas prices are hitting all-time record highs, Joe Biden scratches his head while he licks his ice cream and has no idea how to fix the problem that he created. President Joe Biden is growing increasingly worried that he is not seen as doing enough to lower gas prices, according to a new report. The Washington Post reports that Biden privately questioned his staff after proposed a trip to Iowa to announce the use of E15 ethanol year-round, which is believed and would help bring down gas prices. Biden felt that the new policy would be ineffective, that the report noted that he began badgering them with questions about the proposal of the event. The Washington Post story in its series of reports is in recent weeks detailed that Biden appears increasingly frustrated and helpless to handling daily events. The president was right to be skeptical about the significance of the event, as the gas prices have now reached an average of $5 per gallon. Nothing less did not stop him from holding the event. So what does it say in the article? Well, Biden is quoted in saying, I just had a chance to see the work you've done here. A turn You've turned more than 40 million bushels of local corn into 130 million gallons of ethanol in a year. Now, why are they talking about this? I actually did a little bit of research. I I went in and tried to find what E15 is all about. Now, you guys have seen it at the pumps. It is the blue label handle there at the pump. It usually runs about 85% ethanol. Okay. Now, this has been around for quite a while. This isn't anything new. So, it to paraphrase this article that I read and I listened to here, is E15 is a product of corn, right? So there are a lot of farmers in Nebraska, Iowa, all across the country that have turned from producing food for the public into corn for ethanol for this E15, right? So why are they doing this? This is a government subsidized program. Did you guys know that? The government is pushing this so hard because it's a subsidized plan for the farmers. They're pushing a more environmentally friendly choice. Now, you guys have seen these blue pumps, 85%, right? So I beg to ask the question when I was reading this article, how good is E15? Well, after I did some research, I found out that E15 really is not that great. It's not good for your vehicles, especially for any vehicle older than 2007. What happens in the gas tank is these molecules actually separate in the gas tank. So the ethanol falls to the bottom of the tank and the corn rises to the top. It creates a lot of havoc in your vehicles. And if you have a vehicle that is still under warranty, a lot of them will state on the gas tank, ethanol or E15 is not allowed. You're supposed to use 88, 87, 88% or higher in these new vehicles. If you guys are hurting financially to pay for fuel at the pump and you guys have a vehicle that is still under warranty and you use this 85 and your car takes a crap on you, your warranty is now null and void. Just so you know that. I want you guys to be aware of that. If you still have a warranty on your car and you use this gasoline to save a few dollars, because sometimes this can be about $1 cheaper at the pump, and everybody looks at it and goes, "Oh wow, I can save $1 a gallon." Think about the consequences if you guys do that. It can ruin your vehicle. There is study after study saying that this E15 is not healthy for your vehicle. Now, some of the newer vehicles, disclaimer, some of the newer vehicles that are flex fuel, you can run this in your vehicle. But there is a small percentage of vehicles that are flex fuel. There's a small percentage of the vehicles that can handle this. Now, I do know for a fact that you can't use this in your lawnmowers, in your weed eaters, and in some of your small engines. It actually will ruin your engines, your small engines. So why is the government pushing so hard for this? Think about that for just a minute. I want to leave headline hits with that question. Why would a government that subsidizes farmers to produce E15 push this so hard on the public to use this? Could it be the Great Reset? Could it be the Green New Deal? If they continue to raise gas prices so high that it makes it so unaffordable for people to keep their tanks full in their vehicles, and they're forced to try to save money and go to the E15, and that actually in return ruins your vehicles and forces you to purchase possibly electric cars, I don't know. Maybe that's the question of today. Ask yourself that question, do a little research. We'll see you back here at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Podbean for The Warrior and the Hammer. God bless. Love you all.